Hey guys, welcome to Seoul, South Korea. I'm Doa, that's Monte Cristo, and welcome to the Gauntlet. That's right, today is our first match to find out who's going to get the final seed, the third and final seed, from Korea to the Season 3 World Championships in LA. It's going to be awesome. We have Blaze from CJ versus Bullets from KT, and we are about to see if KT can repeat their performance in the quarterfinals and semifinals and finals of Champions Summer. It's kind of crazy, actually, how it all worked out.
Yeah, I don't think the Bullets want to repeat their performance in the finals.
In the finals, yeah, they probably don't want to do that. But quarters and semis,
That's
maybe,
right.
Maybe, yeah.
Now, the last time these two teams played in the quarterfinals, we did go all the way to that fifth game, and we did see that blind pick. The KT Bullets did win the game one, lost the next two games, and then won the final two games rather decisively after they had a big lead in game three. And I don't use this word very often, but they threw that game. And
it was an exciting game, but it was maybe not the highest skill we've seen in Korea, I guess. But it was fun. It was fun to watch.
It was very thrilling.
It was thrilling. That's a good term for it, I guess.
KT Bullets had game three in the bag, but they fought back. We were like, oh, well, what's their mental condition after this? Are they really going to be able to come back after throwing? They came back immediately, won two games very decisively, and they look good against this team. So,
yeah, well, there is a little bit of information about the LoL Season 3 World Championships. $2 million US, $2 million. I'm putting my pinky finger on my lips right now. It's a lot of money, guys, and it's going to get divided up among the best League of Legends teams in the entire world. We already have MVP Ozone and also Najin Blacksword going from Korea. Who's the third team going to be? We'll find out on Saturday. But first, we need to go through this match. And, of course, there's some teams from all the different regions. You can see that third team in Korea hasn't quite been decided yet. The teams that are underlined in blue, those are the ones that have first place in their regions or groups, I guess you could say. And so they'll be getting right to the bracket stage.
That's right. And, of course, EU losing out at the All-Star tournaments has all of their teams going into groups, and that's going to be highly competitive. I mean, getting out of that group stage is such a huge deal. And so Najin Sword, based on the circuit points, takes that home. They won NLB, therefore placing fifth in Champions 2 seasons in a row here in summer and spring, and then they won Champions Winter. So they were the top of the heap.
You know, the thing is they had a really, really rough season in Champions Summer, and we had our doubts about them, but they came back, they won NLB. They're a team that can certainly come back and show a lot of good games. So, I don't know, I'm excited to see what they can do in Worlds. It's been a while. And there are those circuit points that we were just talking about. You can see Najin Blacksword on top with 600 points and MVP Ozone securing second because of the SK Telecom win in the Champions Summer Finals. They beat the Bullets. Now, yesterday, the Bullets lost a tiebreaker to Frost. That's why they're in fifth, even though they have the same amount of points that Frost does. So today, we'll see the KT Bullets fighting CJ Blaze for the chance to then go on and play Frost tomorrow, and the winner of that will play SK Telecom on Saturday for that seed. And there's kind of maybe a more concise readout of how that bracket is going to work. You can pretty much see how it's all going to end up.
That's right. And to talk more about Najin Sword, they've affected Blaze a lot because once the teams fell down into NLB, so there's an underleague 2 champions called the underleague called NLB, where if you are not one of the top 4 teams in champions, you compete in order to win more money, kind of establish who is going to be the 5th and 6th place teams in champions, circuit points for worlds, etc., etc. Well, Blaze dropped down and had to play against Sword down there, and Sword won pretty decisively. So this Blaze team, they haven't been looking their strongest.
Yeah, not really. I mean, you saw our format, too. It's a best of 5 today with the blind pick game 5 if we get there. Standard OGN stuff. But you mentioned Blaze, and all season long we were calling them the one-trick warhorse, right? Not a one-trick pony in that they had one thing and it wasn't very good, and if it didn't work, blah, 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 but one-trick warhorse, where they have one style, but they're so good at it that they can beat nearly everybody. They were still one of the best teams in Korea, but in the end, lately it seems like they're so figured out.
They are, and the one-trick warhorse still beats most Korean teams. I mean, the Blaze's fundamentals are very good. but they have a lot of trouble against other top-tier teams who have figured them out strategically. So they're consistent against kind of Tier 2 teams, but they struggle with Tier 1.
Yeah.
And Blaze historically has really struggled against the KT Rolster Bullets.
That's true. Well, let's introduce our teams for today. You know who they are, but let's take a closer look because it's always good to get to know the guys on a personal level, get to know their hopes and dreams. I guarantee you a big dream for all of KT Bullets is to get a win today, move on to face Frost again tomorrow, and there they are. Insect playing in the top lane today.
That's right, you can see him on the end, so he is feeling back to his old Insect self tonight, and he will be in the booth and manning that top lane. Ryu already looks disappointed.
He does.
He perpetually looks disappointed.
Ryu, we talked about SK Telecom, right, with the 100-acre lane, Piglet Poo, but really Ryu is like the Eeyore of the Korean League of Legends scene. He's like, I guess I'll play Ari. I'm probably going to die again. Like, Ryu he literally is the Eeyore of the League of Legends in Korea. Well, there's the team. Insect in the top lane, Pagao in the jungle, Ryu in mid lane, Score and Mafa down in bot at AD carry and support. Some good results overall, but again, a team that struggles with nerves, that gets a little bit down on themselves from time to time, and they really cannot afford to have that happen today. There he is, Insect back again.
Well, we are playing on patch 3.10a right now, so with those Zac nerfs, I'm curious as to whether we are going to see a high priority placed on Zac still tonight. I would imagine we will, but
he's still very good. I mean, losing the tenacity on the ultimate does hurt Zac a lot, but he's still a very solid champion. I'd be surprised if we didn't see him fairly often.
That's right. Let's cruise on over to the other side of the studio to see our other team here tonight. It is CJ Entis Blaze.
That's right. There they are, getting a cheer from the crowd, and notably, you saw him sitting there. It's not going to be Captain Jack and AD carry. We're going to have Hermes today. Hermes and Lustboy switching it up a little bit. Of course, Blaze trying to kind of redeem themselves, like you mentioned earlier, for that loss in NLB versus Sword.
That's right. And the switch up in the AD carry combination. So now we see Hermes paired with Lustboy, Captain Jack paired with Muse typically. Lustboy is a support that really likes to be active, to trade heavily, to be aggressive in lane.
Right.
Captain Jack likes to sit back, more of a farm-style AD carry. So they were having a lot of conflict there just between their two styles. So we've seen Blaze shift around their AD and support pairs to better suit the strengths of those players.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like it's going to be a good idea. We'll see how it works out today, but it is tough, especially if you have a bloodthirsty support and a passive AD carry. That support's going to get you in a lot of trouble.
That's right. Well, Lustboy, a bloodthirsty support, and now he's got a bloodthirsty AD to match him.
Yep.
So.
And a famous Lulu player, so a bloodthirsty support after my own heart. And we'll see if they can do it. I'm actually really interested in seeing what Blaze brings to these games. They've had a lot of time to prepare. Will it be different, or will the one-trick warhorse ride again? We're about to find out, guys. Picks and bans for game number 1 is about to begin. Here we go. CJ Blaze versus the KT Bullets. And what will the picks and bans be? As you can see, Rengar, Lucian, and Lissandra still not available right now for tournament play.
That's right, and Zed is the first ban here. We can see Nidalee coming out of the KT Bullets. Now, in the last best of 5, Blaze did run Nidalee. She's a very strong split pusher.
True.
And Jack's going down as well. We've seen resurgence big time of Trinity Force champions with the new Trinity Force.
Trinity Force is so good, man. Phage.
It is really
got
strong
a pretty big
right
buff.
now. And so we may see the Corki and Aurelia going out as well. Now,
wow.
Flame back in Champions Winter used to play a lot of Aurelia. So it's really weird, Doa, honestly. And Shen coming through even with those nerfs to his feint. We've kind of come full circle from World Championship last year, where we saw a lot of dominance from these Trinity Force champions. Jax, Aurelia, Corki, Ezreal. Well, guess what's happening again with that Trinity Force buff?
Really?
We're all the way back here again. And at Worlds, we're going to see, I'm almost positive, many of these champions, especially the AD carries, given Score's Corki and how much damage he was able to do on that champion yesterday.
It was pretty terrifying, actually, seeing that. And looks like it will be that Caitlyn Fiddlesticks lane, a really good tower-pushing lane. Now, Blaze back in the day, they were kind of like the fast push team of like the Millennium or whatever. They were the guys who really, really wanted to take towers down in like 4 minutes. We saw it back in like Champions Winter, way back when. They got away from that style, but look at this, a Vi and Ahri pickup for KT Bullets.
Now this is interesting because Kakao actually was back before they nerfed Vi. Kakao was pretty much the principal Vi jungler here in Korea. So he's coming back to that champion right now. And with Ahri, they're looking to make that really hard engage poke composition. And it's funny because the Ahri Vi combo is what helped SK Telecom beat them in the Champions Summer Finals.
Well, it's been like a theme for the KT Bullets for so long to take strategies that were used against them and adopt them into their own play. We've seen it time and time again, so really no shock to see them pick up a little bit about what beat them. It was good, and are we actually going to see a Wukong? There's a Singed. Okay, Singed for Flame. Singed making a bit of a comeback in Korea as well lately. Saw Impact Flame quite a bit.
Well, Noah, this from Blaze is a pretty dedicated split push composition. Now, they picked up Gragas, and interestingly, the KT Bullets were using Gragas in the Champions Summer Final, really just to poke and knock people off turrets so they could fast push with Fiddlesticks and a long-range AD carry. Caitlyn, a very natural choice here. So it looks like a KT Bullet-style fast push comp coming out of CJ Blaze with Singe to do a little bit of proxy farming and add more pressure to those turrets. Always a common pick against this Shen.
Really interesting stuff. Well, here's our final lineup, guys. Shen being played by Insec against Singe. Played by Flame in that top lane. Kakao and Helios playing Vine, Jarvan the fourth respectively in the jungle down at mid lane. Ryu playing Ahri, Ambition on Gragas at AD carry. As you can see, we have Score playing Ezreal, Hermes on Caitlyn, and finally at support, Zyra played by Mappa and Lustboy on Fiddlesticks this time around. The game is loading. It is a best of 5. The loser is out of contention to go to Worlds. This is a huge match for both these teams. Wake up, Ryu. You're about to play in a very important match, man. There's Ambition, of course, on the CJ side. A battle of the mid laners who look forward. So I call it like I see it, Monte Cristo. All right, we're getting into the game, guys. Let's do it. Set 1, KT Bullets versus CJ Blaze here on OGN. It's such a struggle not to say OGN champions. Actually, you get used to it after a year of tournaments. But
and look at this, Flame actually starting with a Doran's ring first onto Singe, so going for quite a bit of damage here early. Now, we have seen SK Telecom in the past with Impact playing the Singed up in the top lane, especially against Shen, because you can proxy, you can dirty farm early, get between that first and second turret, and Shen just doesn't have very good wave clear early on. And right now we see these deep wards going down. We may see that lane ward come down right here, and that is exactly it, because I'm pretty sure they want to get this 1v1 so that they can do the dirty farming with Singed and know exactly where their opponents are going, get those solid lanes.
I feel like saying Singe is dirty farming is kind of repetitive, because I mean, isn't really everything he does kind of dirty? I mean, he does leave like a poison cloud behind him wherever he walks.
He's absolutely filthy.
I think what would really shock me if he was like clean farming or something. Like, wow, that is a departure from the regular Singe.
They have to make an eco-friendly Singed skin.
Captain Planet Singed.
All right, so we'll see Kakao here making a little bit of an aggressive play. Score and Mappa. You can see right now Shen waiting down there to follow his minion wave up, so he's not giving them that information about where those lanes are going to be starting early. Interesting play so far from Insec, and I'm actually a little confused what he's doing. Heading now into his jungle as the KT Bullets steal that red buff away.
All right.
Okay, so he's checking on red.
Right.
Ping going down. So they know the jungle route of Helios right now because they didn't get those wards into the blue side jungle. So he could have been starting either at that red buff for the Bullets or at his own blue. But they know he's going to be over there shortly.
Yeah, makes sense.
And you can see right there Blaze rotating Singe down. So yes, they did indeed want that 1v1 and 2v2 laning situation.
Now it's interesting that they gave Lustboy a little bit of XP too from those mini lizards, because that's going to help him hit that level 2. It's going to help him have the ability to silence and fear right off the bat, or a little bit quicker anyway, which might make him a little bit more dangerous in lane. See how quickly they can try to force score and Maffa away. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Insect versus Flame. Ryu already taking some hits.
Well, and it really makes a lot of sense. What's so funny about Blaze's composition is this is something I would expect the KT Bullets to run, but we're seeing it coming out of them. It's nearly identical to what we saw them running in the final with a few tweaks. Now, Flame runs, we were just looking at his stats right there, has a little bit of magic penetration from those red magic pen marks.
Yeah.
And so he's really looking to bully Shen early on here with that Doran's Ring as well. So the fast push already coming in, but we see right here, Hermes getting poked really low early. Yeah. This is quite bad for CJ Blaze because they're not going to be able to keep this pressure up. They have no sustain in this lane.
It's kind of the opposite of what they wanted to happen really with this. And already a really huge minion wave with a cannon minion for KT, so they're going to be able to put some damage onto this turret if they want to.
Yeah, Hermes, that's really terrible for Blaze if they wanted to abuse this laning combination. But yeah, if anybody knows how to play against this kind of fiddlesticks right now, it's going to be the KT Bullets. They're using
Helios coming in. Ryu does dodge the knockup, just going to saunter his way out of there. No worries. It's just a walk in the park for Ryu. He just, like, everything about him looks unexcited today.
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, there's a Q coming in from Cacao. Nope. Decides to turn it around at the end.
And right here, too, we see Ambition getting bullied out of lane by Ari. It takes Helios to come in there in order to kind of save his bacon as he got pretty low. But in the top lane, it's damage that came back. They already forced Hermes out. They already forced Ambition out. The farm difference is pretty severe because Score and Maffa have been able to keep the wave frozen, and now they're fast pushing it before Hermes can make it back and get some of that XP.
Yeah, and they've got that little level edge too. They're just going to go ahead and recall. And there goes Lustboy too. Helios came up to clear out that ward, but a rough start for CJ. No doubt about it. Cacao lurks in the river, but he is spotted.
Yeah, Flame.
They know where he is.
Flame already using his teleport too to go back and pick up that crystalline flask just to give him a little bit more sustain in lane to go along with his Doran's Ring. So he's really looking to shove hard and make those trades and keep himself topped up on that health and mana, just constantly harassing Insect. Fortunately for Insect, he does have that Doran's Shield giving you an immense amount of sustain in the early game. A very powerful starting island. Helios.
Yeah, and that River Brush just waiting for Score and Maffa to get a little bit farther up. Hermes and Lustboy trying to push now. And will they be able to really set something up for Jarvan? There we go. He's coming in. Misses the knockup, though. Yeah, that didn't end up working. Oh, they actually caught Hermes with the snare. Takes a lot of poke before getting out of there. Yeah, things just not going CJ's way early on.
Yeah, a pretty sloppy flag toss combination there from Helios coming in. Not getting the hit. Maffa and Score well ready for that one, and he did miss the brush.
Yeah, so that's the worst feeling as a support player. They're like, oh, man. It's like, yeah, that's when you want to, like, tell all your teammates, I usually get it every time. I promise. I don't usually miss that one.
I'm sure that's
hard.
Sometimes
it's
right
tough.
Now.
Even pro supports miss those wards every once in a while over the walls into the brush. Whoa, those rude dudes do not stand a chance.
No, they don't. And Helios now, not a lot of life, can't really contest that, so the rates will go over to Cacao.
Well, I mean, the Spirit Stone already picked up for him, and Helios hasn't gone back and bought yet, and he has about half the CS. So I don't know what Helios is really going to accomplish here in the near future.
Okay, so look at this right now. They knew the pink ward was in the tri-brush, so they pinged Cacao and then immediately cleared it out so that he could safely walk through tri and put even more pressure onto this Blaze top lane. Very smart. Vision control coming in there, and they've opened up a possible gank path, but Cacao coming around the back.
That shows himself. He's going to come in with the ultimate, actually. Ambition. Body slam takes some damage, but unfortunately Ryu not able to get there in time to finish him off. No Ignite used, and they did get the flash from Ambition, though.
Yeah, you could tell right now the KT Bullets aren't as used to using this combination as SK Telecom was. We saw that Assault and Battery straight into a Charm really nicely played out by SKTT1, but a little bit off right there, Ryu. Perhaps a smidge too far back in the lane to set it up.
Charming battery.
Charming battery.
Charming battery, exactly. That's kind of like the relationship with Twilight, right? Oh, Hermes taking some damage, has the net away. Maffa and Lustboy duking it out. Looks like Hermes, wow, even more damage. Score gets him very low. Does he have level 6? He does. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Electing not to use that True Shot Barrage.
He doesn't have the mana for it right
now.
Oh,
you're right, he doesn't.
For it in just a few seconds as he hits 100. Will he actually use it right now? Doesn't choose.
Man.
He doesn't need the kill, though, because right now, Blaze is being foiled. Their fast push strategy
It's not too fast, is it?
It's not too fast. They're not actually putting damage on the turret. Hermes and Lustboy are losing lane pretty hard right now. You can see that level disadvantage starting to show as well. And Hermes pushed back multiple times already.
It's not working out terribly well yet. And Cacao continuing to be quite a bit ahead of Helios, too. That red buff did get taken. And Ryu coming up. Looks like he's heading up towards the top lane now. He is going to have his Spirit Rush up. He's going to walk into that ward, but I don't know. Do you think this is something that they'd want to dive at this point?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if they can.
If they can, yeah.
Yeah, they certainly have an opportunity right here.
The turret's really low, too. It will not take much to go down. That's going to open things up for a nice gank. Looks like Ryu, though, going back to the mid lane now, so not interested.
Yeah, Doe, this is really baffling to me because Blaze invested a lot in order to get these preferential lanes, but that early damage that we saw in the duo lane taken by Hermes early really slowed him down. And Insec, meanwhile, in the bottom lane has actually done a very good job of dealing with this Shen. And Flame not being too aggressive about the dirty farming as he gets taunted under the turret.
Yeah, going to take some more damage here. And he's going to make it back, but a little bit of damage. He's already got his Catalyst, so he's pretty durable. And he's just going to pull those minions right out of the lane.
Yeah, just constant annoyance right there. But Insec is getting pretty tanky himself. You can see already has that Spectral Cowl, so he's well equipped to deal with this. He can go ahead and just face tank the waves, collect the gold experience right there. Should be actually hurting too much.
Yeah, I feel like we should give a lot of credit to Maffa as far as his harassment is going in that lane. He has done a great job of poking away at both Lustboy and Hermes this game, if you've been watching.
And Cast
there's the ultimate. And did they get the charm? Doesn't even matter. Look at all the damage. Explosive cast doesn't help out Ambition. Flame coming down with that teleport, but not quite enough. There's first blood. Oh, he does pay for it. Meanwhile, though, Hermes actually gets a kill on Maffa up in top lane. Kills all over the place right now.
A little bit of a positional error up there at top. Insec and Flame duking it out right now. And this is a battle of the intakes. Never exciting, but actually, and right now, Blaze, due to that kill, will actually get that first turret.
Yeah, they will. So, mission accomplished. I mean, 10 minutes probably not what they were intending as far as it goes. Oh, Vi coming in again. Flame stuck around a little bit too long. He's about to get snuffed out.
Yeah, he does get snuffed out indeed, and that'll give the blue buff over to Insect, so a nice little bonus. But on this next wave, Score should be able to shove this lane back out, get that turret, and even themselves up. But, I mean, this is just not what we're used to seeing this composition that Blaze runs doing. Like, let's take a look at this again. Yeah, coming in right there. And what happened in the top lane? Maffa goes over, gets the flash here. Nice pick set up from Lustboy to make that kill happen.
Yeah. The dangers of warding. Or thinking about warding. I think he did throw one down right before he died.
So this is the problem right now with the CJ Blaze composition.
Oh, there's a charm on Ambition. Maybe a little bit of a problem for him, too. He's chasing. Nice cast onto Ryu, knocking him back from the wall. Helios and Lustboy are right there, though. Need to worry a little bit about Maffa, but everybody backs off.
Yeah, they're trying to make a play on the Dragon right here. Now that they've gone ahead and rotated those lanes. They know that Stand United is down, so it's not much of a threat from Shen.
And there's going to be that Dragon attempt from CJ Blaze. Can they get it done? Ryu is there. He has his ultimate available. They're going to pull the Dragon out. Yeah, they're actually just going to disengage. It's a little bit too dangerous. The ultimate is up for Maffa right now, so you don't want to get Zyra ulted right outside the Dragon Pit.
And Ryu actually built for this circumstance right now. You can see he's emphasizing that burst damage. By typically when we see the Ahri players go for that Deathfire Grasp first, we almost always see them build Fiendish Codex in order to have that little bit of extra sustain in lane and be able to throw out spells, get the magic regen, etc., etc. This time around, it's all about that burst damage, and that makes him very, very dangerous for an early dragon.
Oh, speaking of dangerous here, Helios coming in. He does have the Cataclysm, gets the flash out of Mafa. Much lower cooldown on that Cataclysm. Nice to get the flash out of the way. Will they be able to keep their turrets safe, though?
Well, I mean, CJ Blaze, to go back to their goals here with this team composition. Now, when we saw the KT Bullets doing this, Ryu would just sit on Gragas. He would constantly just toss those barrels underneath the turret, use his ultimate to get people down low and force them to go back to base and knock them off the turret while Score would chip away at the tower with champions like Ezreal, Tristana, these longer range, more poke-based AD carries. And of course, Caitlyn, with her 650 range starting out, the best fast-pushing AD carry in the game if you're just looking to knock down turrets quickly. And of course, Fiddlesticks as well, able to fear people, a targeted 3-second disable, so there's no way they can actually defend against the siege. Flame split pushes, he can always come in if need be with that teleport. But on the other hand, we have the KT Bullets pretending to be SK Telecom. Pick setup is the name of the game with Ahri and Vi. And what the KT Bullets need to do here is when the turret goes down, if they want to set up a pick, if they should be able to predict the next lane that CJ Blaze will go to, and if they have good wards around that lane, Doa, they may be able to set up a pick and prevent the siege from ever happening in the first place.
Yeah, we'll see if they can. They should actually have like a crop dusting singed skin, where it just like rides a plane around like Corky. I think that would be great.
I would love to see that.
It's true. And I don't know what his other moves would be. I don't know how you explain the flip in that regard, but I'm sure Riot could find a way.
Well, Insec is having trouble here, and again, this patch also increased the cost to Spirit Visage slightly, so that has slowed Insec down just a little bit this time around. Cacao regaining that vision control over Dragon, but Score and Mappa have absolutely dominated Hermes and Lustboy in lane this game.
Yeah, really, really good performance from both of those guys overall this game.
And we did see Hermes catch up a little bit, getting that kill, and he did manage to close that CS gap somewhat, but they're just unable to fulfill their compositional objectives right now by getting those towers down early. And you have to be worried about the KT Bullets because they're going to have a massive mid-game power spike with Ahri, Vi, and Ezreal.
Yeah. And they're going to do Dragon just with Cacao and Mappa, and more or less just Cacao himself here. The plant's help, of course. And CJ has no idea that this is happening right now.
Well, this is one of the great things about having Vi as your jungler, is you can pop over the wall to the Dragon Pit with your Q, and then you do percent health damage with your denting blows. So you can actually chew through Dragon a lot quicker than many other junglers.
Oh, Charm on Ambition going to take a little bit of damage here, but he's just in case he goes off. Crow Storm over the wall. Lustboy not able to get in range for that fear, though. Ooh, close call for Ryu. He needs to be very, very careful. He does have that Deathfire Grasp. Wasn't able to use it in that fight, but it does make him dangerous.
Yeah, and the fact that he got it relatively early as well, considering he got the extra gold from the first blood. So he's definitely looking good right now. Insect's starting to fall behind a little bit in terms of CS. He just doesn't have that wave clear yet. He really needs to pick up that Sunfire Cape if he wants to counteract this split push coming from Flame. Or he needs Ahri to go over and help him.
Score coming in, trying to finish off Hermes. Misses that Mystic shot. There's two-shot barrage. Not quite enough. Ooh, if he had hit that one Mystic shot, that would have been a kill.
Well, it will be enough to push him out of lane at the very least.
Yeah.
And so he can get some turret damage down. We'll see if Hermes sticks around. Insect getting flipped like a flapjack.
He's a ninja, so flipping out is just
Sinch is really just helping him.
Really, yeah. I mean, Sinch is like, I heard you had trouble being a real ninja. I'm going to help you flip. So really, I mean, Flame is he's just a nice guy,
Helpful guy, Flame.
Yeah, he's actually giving Shen ninja lessons.
Well, now the turret damage starts to roll in as that Sheen just doing work already. And Score, this is just such a great patch for Score. We know, he said in interviews, Ezreal is my favorite champion in League of Legends.
Yep.
And he was always a very skilled Corki player.
Oh, Insect getting very low here. This is dangerous. One more flip. He could be dead. Helios. Oh, nice flash. Dodging it, but the Cataclysm Can't be dodged. Well, it can be, but not that time.
Well, he did force the flash from Helios as well.
He did.
So turret goes down in bot lane. Meanwhile, second turret being worked on in the top in favor of Blaze. But, Flame's doing well this game. Flame's doing what Flame does. This is exactly what we always expect from CJ Blaze. A weak lane in terms of AD carry support.
Ooh.
An incredibly farmed Flame, usually with teleport or other high mobility spells so he can join fights in the late game.
Yeah.
And Ambition picking up a ton of empty lane farm. The one thing that didn't happen this game, oh no it did. It totally
What happened? Come on.
I was about to
own
say
up to it, Monte Cristo.
I was about to say Ambition didn't give first blood.
Oh, yeah, he did actually. That always happens, though. That's like a given.
I know.
Yeah. Ambition is known in Korea, guys, in case you're new to the scene. Ambition is known far and wide for giving first blood in nearly every game. And today was no disappointment in that regard. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how he can do in the other games. So far, he's 1 for a potential 5. We've seen him go 4 for 5 in the past, so I've got confidence. I've got confidence that he can do it.
I'm so amused because this game is just so
it's classic,
Blaze.
Isn't it?
So, every aspect is so Blaze in this game.
Well, the Warhorse is on the ride again, or on the move again. I don't know.
It's galloping.
It is.
Magnificently.
Yep.
And stylistically, too, we talked about this a bit earlier, but CJ Blaze has really had a hard time always against the KT Bullets. They almost always lose in this matchup. And so coming into this, too, we have to – why is that? It's a stylistic difference. CJ Blaze is very predictable. The KT Bullets are incredibly unpredictable, and they're also one of the most innovative teams in Korea in terms of their strategy, their picks, their planning.
For better or for worse.
For better or for worse, but Blaze doesn't adapt well, and KT Bullets usually comes in with some sort of plan to beat their opponent. And we
Helios coming up to try to catch Insect. They do manage to slow him. Insect with no flash does have his ultimate available. Will he use it to escape? He's trying to get into the brush. Hermes and Lustboy are there. He taunts out of the Cataclysm, but the Fear is going to make sure that ninja's going nowhere. Oh, they actually caught Mafa as well. Came up to try to help, but it just didn't work. Flashes into the Baron pit. Can he escape? Ryu coming up to help as well. Flame chasing really far. Kakao coming in the back lines, trying to get something done. Ryu gets flipped again after the Fear. Spirit Rush, not enough to save him. Meanwhile, Kakao duking it out with Helios. A jungle battle, but Kakao on the run. They might be able to catch him. Probably not at this point. We'll see.
So that was an incredibly sloppy fight from the KT Bullets. They just kind of wandered into the trap one by one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mafa, but sometimes you just need to let your teammates die. We've all had to learn that lesson as a support at one point. You just have to be like, well, you're just going to die. I have to watch. I'm sorry. Well, I don't like it any more than you do, but this is the best for all of us.
And if we look at Flame right now as well, he's been able to farm up a lot of items so far on this Singe. He's getting really, really dangerous. Singe is a great champion in the late game. If Ambition starts to get a bunch of AP, his burst damage is going to be absolutely insane. And Hermes already having that Infinity Edge as well. So I feel like even though CJ Blaze hasn't really taken all the turrets that they could have if they had had a better laning phase, and that their composition really excels at, the KT Bullets haven't been making the picks. Why you pick assassin compositions, as MVP Ozone demonstrated in the Champions Spring Final against Blaze, is because you need to use them to shut down Flame's farming so he doesn't become an absolute monster by the 25-minute mark.
That didn't happen. They're going to set up a pick, though, for Ambition coming in. They actually miss him with the Q, but they get him with the charm. That may be enough. Oh, nice explosive cast. Gets himself away. Flame coming in, though, now with the damage. Ryu has Shed coming down on him. They're going to try to turn onto Flame here. There's the body slam. Kakao. There we go. Ryu manages to pick up that kill. Kakao gets away. Wow, barely escaping. Just 75 health on him.
Yeah, popping that Locket of the Iron Solari in order to make sure that he could survive that one score.
Might set
Getting
up
a little
dragon,
bit of
though.
a speed boost there, as you can see, from that new Phage, from that new Trinity Force, and he's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, oh, Todd coming in on the Lustboy. Lustboy completely caught. Can't make it away. Nice Mystic shot by Score to finish that one off. Really nice, actually. And Ambition, he wants some more. Oh, dodges the taunt.
Well,
there we go.
Guys, I have to say, if you want an example of how not to position in League of Legends for team fights, go ahead and watch this game, because we've seen now pretty glaring errors.
Oh, there we go again. Coming in immediately, gets jumped on by Shen. Ryu very low as well. Helios comes in with the Cataclysm. Ryu gets away though with that Spirit Rush. They manage to pick up the kill on Helios. Now Flame a little bit caught. Can they poke him down? Hermes low health on the outside of the fight. Can't help. Just has to watch Flame die.
This game.
This is, I don't know.
Well, they thought they were being cued because Flame managed to get up, had his teleport up, so they thought they could just get into that fight and turn things around. But considering that by the time Flame got there, Hermes had no HP left to engage whatsoever, it just ended up Flame getting poked down by this Trinity Force and then caught up by the Grasping Roots. And Cacao can do a lot of damage to this high HP Flame with the denting blows, just chunking him for percent health.
Well, CJ, they just kind of had to watch Flame die, and some men just like to watch the flame burn.
That's right.
So, it makes sense.
Back-to-back deaths for Flame right there, kind of unnecessary. The Dragon also going over to the KT Bullets as they take a very comfortable lead here. And he gets it.
He got it. Wow. Score really is like the king of stealing things with True Shot Barrage, too. We've seen it so many times, especially the blue buff.
Yeah, and I mean, he's just such an excellent Ezreal player. When we were watching them play SK Telecom in the finals, I believe it was game 1 where he got the MVP on Ezreal. But his map control with True Shot Barrage was extraordinary in that game.
Oh, absolutely. They do manage to take out that mid turret, putting a little bit more pressure on. Meanwhile, Insect tries to split in that bot lane. Oh, Maffa gets caught. Again, the exhaust not going to help him. Cacao on the run now, gets knocked up by Helios. Ryu coming in with the Spirit Rush. They get the kill on the Helios. Cacao trying to get the backlines on Ambition. There's a Crow Storm. Ryu just barely on the outside of it. Gets feared anyway and exhausted, but still high health. Goodbye, Ambition. Double kill for Ryu. Meanwhile, Flame takes down Score. Just the fights in this game have just been so messy, I feel like. They're just all over the place.
They are, and part of that is that these compositions create messy team fights whenever you have Singe flipping people around. But
it does happen.
Right there, the KT Bullets, I feel overcommitted to taking out Lustboy and Ambition right there instead of peeling for Score.
Yeah.
But they do get the mid turret anyway. They did win the team fight in terms of kills as well. They do take an even bigger gold lead, but you have to be really careful that Singe doesn't get into the back line on your AD carry. Score has opted, he's been doing this build for the past couple of days. Trinity Force into Last Whisper for that huge poke damage.
Wow. And Ambition just coming over the wall, helping Hermes get that one.
Yeah, that's right. And Cacao gets a little caught up here, but Ryu comes in from the side, has a pretty good rotation of cooldowns right there, hitting 3 members, taking out 1. And you can see right here, Flame and Lustboy coming from around the side. Now Insect gets the taunt off Score, trying to auto Lustboy. And at this point, Ryu and Insect really just start chasing around after the 2 players from Blaze in mid lane and leave Score to his own devices in the back.
Some men just want to watch the score burn too, apparently.
That's apparently.
All right, well, 11-8, and a gold lead for KTB. They do have that turret advantage now as well.
And look at this, Trinity Force onto Shen, so Insect getting in on the new Trinity Force action. And that's going to give him a lot more dueling potential against this Singe, which I think is probably pretty necessary because we know Flame is going to keep up that split with him.
Monte Cristo, I think Trinity Force is the new Black Cleaver.
It may be. I think that the 200% damage on the Sheen really pushed it over the top. It's a lot of damage.
And I mean, the speed boost from the Phage is so helpful, so much better than a random slow proc as well. I really do like that.
I really like how Riot is, since the release of League of Legends, has slowly taken out RNG, the random number generation.
Get rid of
They took out Dodge. They took out, now they're taking out the Phage procs. Anything that has like a chance on hit, they've been slowly, ever so slowly removed from the game.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, if you want to really be truly, purely competitive, you need to take out as much randomness as possible.
Yeah, it does make me wonder if they'll eventually take out critical hit or not.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I wonder. They'd have to change a ton of items, so it'd be a big project for sure.
It would. And perhaps they will do that sometime in Season 4, but
Maybe.
it does seem to follow the pattern of Riot's balancing. Make things, I would say, as more skill-based in terms of the results of a certain action as opposed to having that luck factor involved.
Which is good. You want to be using your hands to play the game, not cross your fingers.
Well put. Well put indeed.
Yep. Well, here comes Flame again. 3-3-3. He's the real Trinity Force apparently on this team.
And look at this, the KT Bullets already going for that Baron.
Yeah.
Look how fast they can do it. Again,
Wow.
by a great champion for controlling these Barons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Especially when you're as tanky as she is right now.
And they just have no idea. I mean, and they see other members of KT on the map. Now they might have a bit of an inkling that Baron is being taken, but they're not going to be able to do anything about it.
This is classic KT Bullets, though.
Oh,
they are
yeah.
so good at sneaking that Baron. And you'd think by now the teams would learn that whenever they can't see Baron, the KT Bullets are probably doing it. But they just have maintained really nice wards around that pit. And once again, they managed to take it with the other team none the wiser.
Yep. Someday when Barons become like endangered, KT is going to be like the scariest poachers, man. Nobody's going to be able to catch them in the act.
Well, I mean, those Baron horns are quite valuable.
Eventually we will run out of Barons. There's going to be those like photos with like cowboys sitting on top of mountains of Baron skulls. And, like, if only we knew, if only we were more conservative with our Baron farming.
Just Ezreal sitting there,
That's right.
weeping for Baron.
Yep, it's sad. There'll be like protected Baron farms later on where they'll slowly reintroduce Baron back into the wild, back into Summoner's Rift.
Only for him to get poached one more time. I mean, he's so valuable.
He is.
So how can you blame them?
Well, I mean, then there'll be like the whole synthetic Baron buff market and all that, and is it the same as the real thing? And it's a whole can of worms. Well, the dragon just got taken by KT. They're going to come in on Helios, just chasing him away. They want to get that blue buff. KT now taking control of the jungle. Oh, goodbye, Fiddlesticks.
What's crazy about that, too, is he actually got the fear off, but all of the abilities were out, and the Orb of Deception on the return voyage managed to finish him off, even through that fear.
That's true damage, man. I mean, Ahri, we've seen it. Like, Ahri has become the bane of support players. Ahri just goes around killing supports now, and Zyra, usually the Ahri magnet, lucky to be on the same team this time.
Yeah, well, things are looking pretty grim for CJ Blaze right here. I was a bit worried based on how much Flame had gotten to farm and that KT Bullets weren't really using their assassination potential to its utmost, but those very sloppy fights around Dragon by Blaze.
Yeah. Bit odd. Two-shot barrage doesn't do a whole lot. And that turret taking a bit of damage. Ryu's back right away, and now the split pushing getting very scary for CJ to deal with.
Yeah, and that's...
Oh, teleport. Actually, Flame coming in from behind, it looks like. Yeah, trying to come in, powered by the home guard enchant. Oh, nice roots by Mafa. Completely negates it.
Just
really well
absolutely
done.
Shut down right there. And Insect, with that Trinity Force, able to proc it, get those Sheen procs onto the turret, and just kill these towers so quickly before Hermes can even come to bed.
Oh, here we go. Body slam on Ambition. Tries to get away. His health is very low. Lustboy is there. Helios there as well. They're going to take up the turret. Now the inhibitor in danger. 2 inhibitors in danger. It's getting really scary for CJ Blaze right now. They decide to give the bottom one up. Going for the kills onto Ryu and Insect. Can they do it? There's a flip on Insect. He's feared as well. I don't think he can get out of this one. I can't talk today. There's the exhaust. Maybe he can kill Hermes. No, not quite. And he'll go down. Goodbye, Ninja.
Well, worth it absolutely, though. They did manage to take out that bottom inhibitor. And so with the tower gone in top as well, just a matter of time before they can just push back out.
Absolutely.
Go back, buy up, clear their buffs, come back even stronger than before with piled high with new items.
That's right. Gonna need a couple extra backpack for all those items.
And look at this, Cacao actually picking up Banshee's Veil now.
Huh.
So he will have that extra MR and probably just to dodge that either the Gragas burst coming in. So if Vi goes in with Assault and Battery, likely she's trying to avoid either getting feared or immediately knocked out.
And explosive cast knocks Cacao right back into the team. Oh, there's the Cataclysm. They catch him. He's able to Q his way out of it, though.
And with Score there as well, Blaze instantly has to pull back. Score,
nice dodge.
Incredibly strong at the moment. You can see he's got that Alacrity enchantment on his boots right now as well. So if we click on him and look at his move speed, actually he has an Infinity Edge now too. Holy smoke, Score is strong.
Wow.
416 move speed base, and he gets another 20 every time he autos and hits something, and he gets another 60 once he if he kills anything.
Well, I might as well dye his hair blue and call him Sonic the Hedgehog at this point.
Yeah, look at this. Oh, we're not clicked on him anymore.
Oh.
But this is the power of the new Trinity Force right here.
Yeah.
He's going to be incredibly difficult to kill, track down, hit with that barrel. There's not a lot that Blaze can do at this point.
I want to see Trinity Force Zephyr speed strut Misfortune at this point. Oh, here we go. They're going to come in. Ambition getting jumped on, going down very, very quickly. Not able to really get a whole lot done. Crowstorm ineffective as Lustboy dies very, very fast. And this is it. They could be going for the game here, too. About 50-second death climbers on the CJ side. And is there anything that CJ Blaze can do to stop this from happening? We'll see. Hermes, Flame coming in. Hermes firing from the outside. There's the Zyra ultimate. Can they do it? Flame very low already, and there's just no chance at all. Oh, wow, killing them in Fountain even. KT very low. There's a cleanse from Hermes coming in, wants to get a killer too, but gets lit up, and there goes the Nexus. KT Bullets continues to be the bane of Blaze, and they will take game one.
Blaze Bane.
Blaze Bane. GG. I like the guy in the back with the word hype on his hat in big letters.
I want one of those hats.
I feel like we should be wearing it, man.
And there's Cacao. He's like, yeah, had a pretty solid game on Vi there. I snuck all the objectives. Feels pretty good. Insect coming back. Had a little bit of trouble early, but that was exactly what CJ Blaze wanted, and they just couldn't pull it out. And
wow. It's like everybody sucked the emotions out of these players today.
Well, I mean, it's tough for Blaze. They didn't get to go to Worlds last year.
It's true.
They lost at the very last match of the Gauntlet to Najin Sword.
That's true. Actually, it's funny because that was actually my very first League of Legends match that I was at in Korea. I had just gotten there like a day or two before, and I was able to see the Sword Blaze match from last year.
And remember, guys, too, that Sword ran the entire Gauntlet. They started in the match that you're seeing Blaze and the Bullets play in right now. They had to win those 3 best-of-5s back-to-back, but they managed to take it home.
Very true. Well, we'll see if they can continue their success, already taking that game 1. A victory for KT Bullets. We'll be back very soon with game number 2. It is a best-of-5, so plenty of games left. Make sure you tell your friends to turn on the stream. Watch yourself some great League of Legends. We'll see if CJ Blaze can bring it back. It's not going to be easy. It looks like the one-trick Warhorse will continue to roll on. Will it be able to trample Bullets in game number 2? I'm not so sure, but we'll find out right after this.